Hey there, how's it going? You know, not that I needed another reel. Maybe it was an impulse purchase, but here's the thing. I realized that I got a good handful of reels that were up in that, I don't want to say an upper range because there are much more expensive reels, but in that 250 to 350 range. I have, I've tried at least 3 of those. I've only tried one reel that was more in what I would consider a moderate range, somewhere around $200. Then I got a bunch of reels that are like $100 or less. You know, the Aliexpress stuff, the Dark with Ultras and Wild T Tank, MicroModule. I mean, it's just, there's actually been a lot of those. I came across an opportunity to buy essentially a mid-grade reel. And I was thinking about doing this in the spring, but I found a really good price on it. And it actually wasn't a great price, but it was good enough. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. So with that, today we're going to talk about, actually if you already looked at the title, you know what we're talking about. So today we're going to talk about the Curado BFS XG. So this is a Shimano offering. This is the American offering actually. I had overlooked this for a little while because I was thinking about either getting the Scorpion as a JDM offering. I was looking at the Scorpion or the Curado, and the SLX was sort of like the next tier down that I didn't feel like I really wanted to look at it right away. The Curado, I found a left-hand version at a good price. Let's look at the specs here real quick. Just I don't do that real well, but it's looks like 8.2 to 1 gear ratio, 7+1 ball bearings. I don't remember the total weight on this. With that, let's get a look at it and see how it looks. Kind of excited about this. It's actually a replacement for another reel that never arrived. So like my replacement, it wasn't the company. But so I decided to go in a different direction. I do find it interesting that some of the Chinese Aliexpress reels do a better job of giving you a better presentation. Maybe Shimano just says, hey, we're Shimano. You're getting good stuff, so you don't have to worry about it, right? Ooh, man. It's kind of sexy looking. I didn't realize it sort of had this two-tone look going on here. Oh, man. Ooh, listen to that. That is a nice drag clicker. I mean, it feels really smooth. You can sort of feel a little bit of it, but the sound is incredible. To me, that's perfect. It's not obnoxious, but it's definitely loud enough that you can hear it. Ooh, is this nice. I'll tell you what, I don't know if it'll pick up in the video, but the spool tension knob, it's almost got just a little bit of a goldish green, it's like it's black anodized or something over brass. It probably is actually, but the anodizing is semi-translucent. So instead of being black, it's almost got this greenish, goldish look that shines through. There's just a couple little gold details on this reel. And very similar to the Aldebaran, moving the brakes, the brake adjustments, it is very, very hard to do. So that's good and bad in a way. So it's bad because it makes it hard to make the adjustment. But it's good because unlike a lot of the reels, you can't easily brush this and it becomes a problem. I mean, you really have to, and it also doesn't click. It doesn't feel like it doesn't have the positive steps. It's almost like it's more like infinitely adjustable. What's this look like inside? Yeah, so this is if you're familiar with the original Dark Wolf Ultra, this is the system that they were copying basically. So it'll be cool to try that out to see how different it is. The drag wheel does click on the adjustments. Actually, and this might be one of the best looking star drags that I've seen in a while. There's nothing real fancy about it. It just blends in nicely with the handle. The handle is metal. It's not the carbon style. I don't know that this is the lightest reel out there. instead of me trying to find it, maybe I'll just throw it on the screen here. It feels a little heavier. Actually, look at this. We'll just get the scale out. Let's see if this will handle. It only do 100 grams. So, but what we can do, let's see if we can do something here. If we put the, oh, this is the Dark Wolf Ultra. This isn't what I wanted. So this reel is 40 grams heavier than the Dark Wolf Ultra. So I think the Dark Wolf Ultra is 135. I know the Genius was 135, so let's throw the Genius on here since I have it. Actually, look, so you can see Dark Wolf Ultra is 136 with the line. So if I zero this out, it'll tell me that the Genius is 134, at least my copy. And so if it was 134, and this is 35 higher, so this is a 170 gram reel. So it's not like one of the lightweight Kings. You know, maybe it'll just feel freaking awesome. Let's hope that's the case. It's a nice looking reel. I expected it to be all gray. I don't know why I didn't realize that it had this sort of dark spot up in the front. It actually feels really nice in the hand. Can't find my broken rod that I was using to, where'd it go? It's really nice. This, I mean, it's a Shimano, right? It's probably not a surprise that it's nice. It just looks a little nicer than a lot of the other reels out there. So again, this is the Genius was the last thing that I unboxed. You can just, you know, sometimes premium just looks premium. And again, not that a $200 reel is the most expensive reel out there. As much as I like these, when I look at them side by side, it kind of looks like, so if you would hold up a piece of clothing you got from Walmart, right? And you'd hold up a piece of clothing you got from Orvis. Let's go with Orvis. So the construction and just the way Orvis stuff looks is just in a different league from the stuff you see at Target and Walmart and JCPenney most of the time. And not that there's anything wrong with it, right? You know, we're getting these Aliexpress reels because they're great budget options and they perform very well. So that'll be some of the question is how much better is the performance in this? I will say that the Aldebaran, and that definitely influenced my purchase. The Aldebaran is my favorite reel. I really do. I mean, I really like the Dark Wolf Ultra, but the Aldebaran, it feels so special. I do have a rod that I'm planning on picking up for this in January. This won't hit the water right away, I don't think. I got plenty of other stuff to work with and test out and do a little bit more trout focused. This is definitely something that's more of my all-around bass focused gear. And so but it was just, you know, $200. I'd say impulse, but I had another reel. Actually, it was the Kestrel Elite that has apparently gotten lost, and so there'll be a whole video on the Kestrel Elite attempt and how that works out with Aliexpress, because I think it'll be good for people to understand how it works when things don't go right with Aliexpress. So when I didn't have that one coming in, I'm like, well, what else is there out there? And I just started looking at okay, well, maybe it's time to get something in that next range up, something in between, so like the high end before you get into the pro level reels, like when you get into the Conquest and the Steezes and stuff like that, where you start spending close to $500. I think there'll be a completely different thing. But there's this mid grade that a handful of reels have. You know, I tried the Alphas Air TW, and I just didn't get on with it. This feels like it's in a completely different league. That's what I want to know. I want to see how does it work out. So unlike so listen to this. So that's the spool moving back and forth. Unlike the Aldebaran, which I couldn't get to make any noise back and forth, this definitely will a little bit. It kind of feels like the spool was pretty well. The tension felt pretty good right out of the box. What are the brakes set on right now? It's the other thing about the Shimano stuff. It's hard for me to read what they're set on. That's 4, that's 5, so it needs to go the other way. Needs to go the other way. Okay. Also, pretty free spooling. Finesse Tune brake system. Can't wait to hear a fish making that sound. Yeah, that's gonna be nice. Okay, well, hey, so that is the Shimano Curado BFS XG left handle. Obviously, it's a very sharp looking reel. I really like the way it looks. I'm hoping that the performance is maybe somewhere getting close to the Aldebaran. This is not going to do lightweight stuff well. I know that for sure. In fact, since we got the scale here, let's just see. Sucks getting older, having to wear glasses to see. So now this is the spool, with the bearing and the center rod. So it's at 9 grams. Just curious. Yeah. So 6.5 grams for the Genius versus, what was it, 9 grams? Yeah, 9 grams. So I mean, it's over 2.5 grams different. But again, I didn't get this thinking I'm going to throw 1 gram lures with it. I got this thinking I'm going to throw a lot of my bass lures. And again, it's not going to be a trout reel. So 2.5 grams. But you think about it, right? So that's 2.5 of the 35. This just feels like it's built on a different level. So you won't see this on the water most likely until probably March. I mean, I'll definitely have it ready for the retreat down in Florida at the beginning of March. Maybe late February if the ice clears up here, I'll get out, maybe get it down to the river. But the rod that I have for it is that I'm going to order. It's a Shimano. It won't be here until sometime in January, so you won't see this anytime soon. But I figured I would do the unboxing, and actually I don't even know when you're going to see this. If you have any questions about it, anything specific you want to know, let me know. This is just one more that's going to get added to the stable this year. Can you ever have too many reels? I got some plans next year when I'm going to be able to start fishing with at least taking multiple rods with me on some of the trips. And so it'll be nice to have a handful of options that I can set up with different approaches just to try to figure out fish a little bit faster versus, always taking the time to change the lures. And sometimes, some things I want to run with a snap, some things I want to run direct tied to the line. It's be good to, and honestly, the rods work a little bit differently for different approaches. So it'll be nice to be able to take maybe a few different rigs on any given trip, at least on certain trips. So with that is the Curado BFS XG. I'm pleasantly surprised. It's, I expected it to be nice, but it's probably nicer than I was hoping. Can't wait to get this on the water. With that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.